All right, guys, thank you, Jesus. Just hit 30 years old. All right, so today we're going to break down what happened in my 20s, how I was able to achieve the certain things that I've hit so far, and what the 30s is going to look like. All right, so for starters, guys, I used my 20s to my advantage. All right, and what I mean by that is when you're in your 20s, you have an advantage over people, and most people don't use that to their advantage. You are in your prime when it comes to your energy output. All right, you're in your youth, you have all the energy in the world. You're not going to be tired, you're not going to be fatigued, so you can really put in those 14, 16-hour work days. Plus, ideally, if you're smart, you didn't have any kids, don't have a wife, just distractions that could slow you down. All right, so graduated college, went overseas, played basketball in Finland and Spain, and when I was out there, I realized that, hey, making this accomplishment of playing professional basketball is cool and all, but I really need to make a lot of money. All right. So I started a surplus funds business. You guys might know about that. Basically, in foreclosures, I help people claim money that they didn't even know they had. I get a commission for it. That business took off. Airbnb, Turo, and also a financial advisor. All right. So I worked at a financial firm, and my first year in sales, I did over 5 million. All right. So I was generating commissions. I was learning how the rich operate. I learned so much, but the main thing is I kept building, I kept stacking. I didn't settle ever. Like when I got my financial advising job, that was $150,000 salary plus commission. And I remember my grandparents, they thought I was crazy when I said that I was going to quit working there so that I can focus on, all my business ventures. They thought I was crazy because, this is a good job. It's quote unquote protected, but I'll never forget that first month that I went all in on my own and I stopped working that job. I had my first six-figure month, all right? And I realized that, most people, they have goals and aspirations, but they allow family members to hold them back. They allow their thought process. They don't feel like they're really self-deserving. You are deserving of it, all right? In your 20s, if you actually dedicate yourself to whatever it is you want to be, you'll get it. Because most people, to be honest, they bullshit, all right? They mess around in their 20s, and then by like late 30s, they try to figure it out, and to be honest, by that time, it's too late. Like I told my brother, he's 18. I said, bro, if you lock in right now, I became a millionaire by 26. I said, if you lock in right now, you're gonna hit that milestone way before I did, but only if you lock in right now. So once again, in my 20s, and I always envision this, 20s was like laying down the foundation. All right, I wasn't trying to figure things out. I literally knew what I wanted to do, and now let me start laying the foundation for the empire that I want to build. And now that I'm going into my 30s, it's much easier because now I just need things to really take flight even more. So, prime example, the men's luxury spa. I opened that up. All right, this was a brand new business venture. I just executed and acted on it immediately. I've never been in the spa space before, but I had a great idea. I knew what I could achieve. I knew what I could do. I knew my self-worth. I know how to market. I know sales. I know ideas, and I executed. So in my 20s, the amount of streams of income that I generated is now over 30, all right? I have a book. I'm an author. It's called The Power of Doing More. I teach people like, hey, you need to be doing more in life. I have YouTube. I have a consultation company. I still do financial advising. I have the surplus funds business. I have properties on Airbnb. I have cars on Turo. I do fix and flips. You have to really mold the foundation, and the more streams that you can develop at a young age, your 30s will be much smoother. So now that I'm in my 30s, since I've already built these businesses, my plan is when I'm in now that I'm in my 30s, to exit, because that's where the money is. People think that, hey, you want to run this successful business. The biggest players, they do exits and they keep going. All right, prime example, Mark Cuban. I love Mark Cuban. He sold his first company for 10 million. I just recently had my tech company evaluated at 4.1 million, and I'm thinking like, hey, I'm getting really close to that 10 million mark. So I'm just trying to stack and exit and then just keep going, to be honest, because in the 30s, imagine this. All the businesses that I developed, if I can get them to sell, and let's say, I sell a couple of companies that's over 30 million. Now, in the 30s, you're wise, you know investments, you know how things work. You took your 20s to kind of figure out investments. Now I know the best return on my investments. key example. Now that I live in Puerto Rico for the tax benefits, I don't need physical real estate. I don't need that anymore. I prefer actual online businesses. You get the higher ROI, services, monetizing your brain, your energy, and you guys don't even know about that. That's the biggest return. So now in my 30s, I'm just about growing these business, making them stable, making it exitable, all right, so that I can really be up. I'm here in Puerto Rico, zero capital gains. So whenever I sell my business for a couple of M's, I'm gonna have all of that and just lay the foundation of a nice, beautiful family. I can't wait, wife and kids. And I just feel like I did it right. Everything was calculated. And now that I'm in my 30s, a little bit wiser, I'm just now stacking on top of the empire. And then when I'm in my 40s and 50s, oh my God, all because in my 20s, I wasn't playing around. I wasn't trying. I mean, don't get it wrong. Y'all saw me travel a lot, but I was still working. I didn't just go out there and party and get drunk and mess with girls all the time and be distracted. I locked in. Like, seriously, if you're watching this video and you're 20, bro, all you got to do is lock in. Like, it's really, like, all this shit, all you got to do is lock in. I'm going to just be real with you. It's as easy as that. Hard work and faith is undefeated. And I definitely got to shout out God and Jesus. That is a huge attribute for my success. If you lock in with the Lord, you lock in with your finances, you lock in with your physicality, always hit the gym, eat right, stop bullshitting, don't let other people tear you down, don't take over their thought process, keep your own thought process, don't take advice from other people unless they're doing quadruple better than you, and you're gonna achieve whatever you want. All right, so I'm excited, guys, for this content. I've been posting these videos. Hopefully you guys have been liking it. But once again, man, if you're in your 20s, it's about laying your foundation, about figuring out what you want to be in life, attack it with a head full of steam, because in your 30s, this is where the separation really happens, especially with men. Once you get in your 30s, it's like, okay, you're not a little kid no more. You're not even a young adult. Like, you're a grown-ass man. And there's certain people who are grown-ass men that are asking dudes to borrow money, don't got money for the light bill, water bill, pay for kids' birthdays and stuff like that. Like, come on. Do you want to be a big dog in your 30s, or you want to be like, oh, damn, I'm still struggling, I'm trying to figure it out? The choice is yours. Come on now.